Hi guys, good day and welcome to yet another beautiful episode of Reality Rose. Today, like always, we'll be talking about something relatable. But before we start, let me first of all appreciate you, dear subscriber, for always being there. I really appreciate. Thank you. And if you're new here, you're welcome. Don't forget to please subscribe. You will like it here. Thank you for joining us. So before I start, let me first of all give out a chapter in the Bible. In your free time, please try as much as possible to go through it. I'm not a preacher, but I really need to bring this out for us to understand what I'm about to talk about. Matthew chapter 10, 5 to 8. Yeah, I take it again. Matthew chapter 10, from verse 5 to 8. So today I'll be talking about a group or a certain group of pastors, not all pastors. Please take note of my word. Some pastors, not all, because of course there are still good ones among them. But before we talk about it, let's go for a quick break. Yeah, welcome back and thank you for staying put. So today, like I said earlier, I want us to talk about a certain group of pastors who collect money before they intercede on behalf of a brethren. Before I start, let me quickly tell a story or two. A story, not a movie, like a real life story. I know of this lady who was getting ready for a professional exam. She read, like she got ready, but anxiety got a better part of her and she needed a divine help. So that was how she contacted a man of God she knows to help her pray. The man of God said he was going to help her through prayers, but she would have to pay 15,000 naira. She paid. She actually allowed her anxiety to get the better part of her. She prayed and went for the exam. While she was in the city where the exam would take place, this said man of God called again to say that he would be going with him to the mountain for the prayers, another man of God. So she would have to pay an extra 5,000 naira for transportation. Okay, altogether it should be 20,000. This is a small amount of money compared to the amount some other men of God actually collect from people. I call it extortion to some extent. So she now got angry and said something like, and said she does not even have money, that she had to manage to give out that 15,000, that she's not going to pay again. So that was how she stopped taking the pastor's call. She wrote the exam. To the glory of God, she made her papers. She passed. So this pastor now went on to tell people that he prayed for her to pass her exams and that she's owing him. What's that? Like, she is owing him for the prayers he made for her. When she was telling the story, to me it was annoying, but I had to just manage to let out smiles. Then there's this other lady I know that had issues with her husband. She has done everything she thinks she could do to make things to work out. Nothing was happening. She now thought to herself she needs divine assistance. So that was how she met a man of God to help her with prayers. She went for counseling, and after the counseling, the man of God said that it is actually the mother-in-law that is the cause of her problem, that he would help her through prayers, but she will have to pay a total sum of 35,000 naira, 15,000 for him to pray, so that the mother-in-law will take her eyes off her and 20,000 naira for the jeans to leave her husband. Wow. So according to her, she didn't make that payment. She got angry and that was it. No. There are other stories. And I'm forced to ask, to what end? Of all the Bible chapters and verses these so-called men of God know, are they not aware of Matthew 10:5-8? Or are they just looking for God's trouble consciously? I mean, why would you ask for money to intercede for a brethren who believes in you? To intercede for a brethren who sees you as a mediator? I know you've got needs as a man of God, but there are other ways to actually make money instead of extorting your members. If you know that this call is not for you, why not bow out? I don't blame my friend that would always say, called some and some called themselves. So you as a child of God, you should know the difference between who has been called by God and who called himself or herself. Stop patronizing them. You too have the power to pray and things would happen. It's just that you're yet to understand the power you carry in you. I am not a preacher. I'm not even here to preach to you. But it has got to a point where we need to really understand that some of these men of God are actually extorting money from us. Don't forget also that you might be praying for A. And if God says that he wants B for you, that A that the man of God is even praying for you for will not come. Don't also forget that God has his own time. And if it's not God's time, then nothing is going to happen. So calm down and wait for God's time. Pray, do the ones you can do. But do not patronize men of God who ask you for money before they can intercede for you. That is what I am here for. It is annoying. It is displeasing. And to some extent, someone needs to talk about it. And this is me talking about it. Let us not patronize this so-called men of God. They are actually extorting from us or from you. You should know when a man of God is real and when a man of God is not real. If you have a discerning spirit. If you get to a prayer house, for example, and if it is somehow, you should be able to know you are a human being. So why would you go and pay for prayers to be made on your behalf? I mean, that's work. Please, it is not advisable for you to pay before prayers will be made for you. You too can pray for yourself. It is understandable that maybe a man of God or your pastor will help you through prayers and you go for Thanksgiving after the prayers have been answered. Then after the Thanksgiving to God, then you can comfortably, on your own, out of your free will, give what you think you can afford to say, thank you, Pastor, for being by me in my time of worries. It is completely a different thing. Not for that man of God to tell you to pay a certain amount. It is completely wrong. And this video is coming to you so you would know it is wrong for you to pay before prayers are made for you. I don't know what you want to believe in, but there is freedom of speech. So I'm dwelling on that to tell you that I feel it is wrong for you to pay even the tiniest of penny for prayers to be made on your behalf. Let's not patronize the so-called men of God. Let us use our common sense to know that there are some things that should not be heard of. So please, to a great extent, I would want you to really think about this and don't forget to, I told you earlier, go to Matthew 10:5-8 for you to really understand what I'm talking about. Please, let us stop patronizing them. If we stop patronizing them, they will have no other option but to stop, and things will work out naturally. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please, please, and please, if you know you've experienced such, or you know someone who has experienced such, please go to the comment section. I'll be there waiting for you. Tell us your experience, and if possible, give us a possible way to avert this. Give us a possible way for us to stop patronizing these pastors, because whether you believe it or not, some persons are really entangled in this web that they don't even know how to pull out from it. Some of these men of God have really used their head to the extent that they believe that so-called man of God is their way out through every problem. So your comments might be of great help to someone like this. You never can tell. Thank you for watching once again. It is still Realities with Rose. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.